homies is in Miami. He said it's 90 out there. So
Yeah, well, not here. I was like, I gotta go put a new battery in this car because I'm gonna come outside and it's not gonna start. That's how cold it is outside. And I was like, we're not
that's
doing that.
torture.
Yeah,
That's
it's
torture.
crazy.
Torture.
It all right, let's go. It is another episode of Say It Loud podcast with your favorite Gilf here, Karen L, and podcaster, by the way. If I sound like Batman, leave me alone, mind your business. So today, in my hot seat and in my behind the mic segment, we have Armin AC, who
Yeah.
is. Do you want to tell him who you are? I feel like you should tell him who you are.
I should tell him. Okay, all right, cool. I'll tell him.
Oh,
I'll
you
tell
should tell him who you
him. What's up, everybody? My name is Armin AC, formerly known as Shaliek, recording artist. First I was a recording artist. That's my background, and then I moved into filmmaking. So I'm a recording artist slash filmmaker. A script writer, screenwriter, and actor. You know what I'm saying?
are.
So
Oh my gosh.
I do it all.
You're like the total,
Yeah.
media, package. Well, we're gonna talk about all of it, but I want to start with your musical journey because I
Yeah.
feel like your musical journey kind of got you where you are today. So we're gonna kind of like go through that timeline with you.
All
If
right.
you
Cool.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your music journey and how it started?
So I guess it really my big start. I would say, of course, in a house, singing around the house and just like knowing that I wanted to do this from a really, really young age, 5 and 6 years old, just
Wow.
hearing songs on the radio and just, mimicking it and just visualizing myself on stage. And so it really, really stemmed back from 4 and 5 and 6 years old. But my big break, I think was probably when I did the Showtime at the Apollo and I won like
You did
twice.
Showtime at the Apollo?
I did Showtime at the Apollo. And I was right at the age where I could either compete as an adult or a child. I was like maybe 14 to like, I think
Wow.
15, maybe 15, 16. So
And you went.
they asked me, they say, and Steve Harvey was the host, and they asked, do you want to compete? They literally asked me, you want to compete in the adult or the kid? The
Yeah,
kid, you can't lose, you can't get booed.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was, and then, but then, as an adult, I had to,
Yeah.
I took
Sandman
a
come
chance. Yeah, the Sandman come out and take up the stage. But I was like, you know what? Let's go for it because I've always been a warrior when it came to
Yeah.
stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? As far as my talent, I always, I believed in myself. So I was like, let's do the adults, and I did the adults. I wanted to win. I sang Stevie Wonder, knocks me off my feet, and I won twice. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was my big break. I was still in high school. And everything pretty much the door started pretty much opening after
That's
that.
exciting because you know how hard it is. I've been to Showtime at the Apollo when it was amateur night. Like I've been there with a little fan where they hold it up and stuff. It's not an easy audience to
At all. It's not at all.
to win over. Like they are 100%. You better come out and have it together kind of people. So to be able to get up there, right? Because there's so
Yeah.
much talent in the world, and then to be able to compete and win, but not once but twice, is like a really big deal, especially for a teenager.
Oh yeah. I mean, it really did. Just it put me in another space as an entertainer.
Yeah.
And I even after I won, I just started feeling better about myself. Like, oh, I can do this. Like, this
Yeah.
is, you know what I'm saying? I won the Apollo. I can pretty much,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it gives you that
For real.
confidence.
I mean, I feel like that's valid though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Apollo is it's pretty good. It's not, the school talent show.
It ain't, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole nother level. And
But
then
let's talk about how you chose Stevie Wonder because I want to know who are some of your influencers because you were like, I was doing this at 5 and 6 years old, and then I made it to the Apollo at 14. So I want to know like who was influencing you musically during that time.
So my grandfather, God bless his soul, he passed away. He used to sit in the kitchen at the table and he used to play a lot of music. You know what I'm saying? He went through I mean blues, jazz, R&B, soul, country even. Like he just was a big music person. And so every time I went to my grandfather's house and my grandmother's house, I was in school. I was in so I started like really paying attention to the singers and Sam Cooke. I was introduced to Sam Cooke through him. Sam Cooke, Change Gonna Come was one of my favorite songs
Yeah.
at like 6 years old.
Yeah.
I was like, who's this guy?
So you
I
just had
need
an
to know
old
who
soul.
this is. Yeah, like who's this guy? His voice is amazing. And then he was a fan of like Dionne Warwick and Whitney Houston and all of that. So he introduced me to Whitney. I love
Mhm.
Whitney. and he introduced me to Michael Jackson. He introduced me to Stevie Wonder. It's one of my favorites. Donny Hathaway. So
Yeah.
those are my favorites. You know what I'm saying? When I think back to
Those are also all the greats, though.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when I think back to who inspired me as a vocalist, I would have to say those people.
Wow. Yeah, no, I feel like all of those are people
Oh
that you
yeah.
definitely would look up to.
Powerhouse,
And
powerhouse
yeah,
singers,
they've had longevity and kind of have been like pillars in the culture, right?
Yeah.
Especially at that time. So that's kind of dope. And then so you win Apollo, and then what happened next?
So I went to Apollo, and I was living in Charleston. I grew up in Charleston. Shout out to Charleston, Charleston, South Carolina. I went to high school there. I did middle school and high school there. I was born in New York, but my mother, she got us out the hood, and she was like, let's go, let's raise you guys, and I want to raise my kids in a house with a backyard, grass, all of that. That was her dream, and that's what she made happen. That's why I love my mother to the day. Like
I love
she's
it.
she's a go-getter, you know what I'm saying? She's a go-getter. And you and I were talking before the interview, and I respect you for that too. You make it happen, for your kids and your family, and she did that. So she took us out of the hood, and we in Charleston. So basically, during the Apollo, I was still in high school. So my thing was, when I went to Apollo, I couldn't wait to graduate. I was like, as soon as I graduate, I'm going straight to New York. And that's what I did. The day after graduation, I jumped on the Greyhound. I jumped on the Greyhound bus, and I
We
came.
gotta go back. What was it like winning Apollo and then going back to school?
Oh man, they had me. I was listed as like the local what they call me, the local star, local something they was
Yeah,
calling me, the local superstar, something like that. But
yeah,
I was in the local newspapers. I was on the news, so I became like the guy there. And
yeah.
Z93, that's the radio station out there. They really supported me. I had music playing out there. Charlemagne the God actually he was on that station. He was one of the DJs on the station.
Yeah,
One of the
yeah.
one of the what you call it, not DJ, but he was
Like
on
the
the. He had
personalities.
his
Yeah,
own show, personality, right? He had his own show on the station. DJ Cass was a big supporter of mine. Terry Bass, he's the PD. He they really supported me as the artist, and so when I took that Apollo experience and brought it back to, of course, everybody in Charleston supported me, and the radio station supported me. So I was that local. That's what it was, local celebrity. I was a
right.
local celebrity in Charleston, South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So
I love it.
after the Apollo, my city just like really bigged me up. Like they
Yeah,
really,
but I'm gonna ask how mom handled that too, because I know your city was bigger, but I know in my gut that your mom kept you humble.
yeah, she did. Yeah, my mother's a singer too. My mother's a singer
Yeah,
too. So she did like gigs here and there in Charleston. You know what I'm saying? So she knew where it was headed. She was like, okay, I
mhm,
see something happening. I see some doors opening. So she always made sure she told me the real, like, it's the business, and she had a little taste of the business too. And the
right.
business is always gonna be the business. She's like, it's a real hardcore business. Make sure it's really what you want to do. And all I ask of you is to graduate high school.
Yeah,
Because I was in like 11th grade, I think, when I did Apollo, or
yeah,
maybe I just started the 12th. No, I was in 11th grade. So I had record deals on the table then, right after
right.
Apollo. But she was like,
Yeah,
I want you to graduate high school. She said,
I
we're
knew
not
she
doing
would.
record deals right now. She said,
I
all
knew
I
it.
ask is graduate high school and you can do what you want to do. So I had to
I
like
knew
chill. Yeah, I had to chill for like,
it.
yeah, I couldn't entertain nobody. You know what I'm saying? And all of the deals that I had on table, they went away. And it's something that I had to honor that. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
respected it though. Looking
yeah.
back at
No,
that.
no, I totally get it. So
I was
when
mad
did
as
you?
hell though. I was mad. I was tight. I was like, what?
I'm sure you were. I'm sure you were, but I also know that that's the one person that's also keeps it 100 with most of the time that's going to keep and want the best for you. And so sometimes the
Yeah,
best don't look the way you want it to look, but at the end of the day, it's what's best for you. So
yeah.
when did you sign? When did you decide like, okay, I'm ready. Let me go and pursue this?
I was ready. Even before the Apollo, I was ready for everything. I was just like, I'm ready to take this to the next level because I know it's gonna happen.
Mhm.
Like you have a feeling that something is like really close.
Yeah. Every
That's what
day
I
of
had.
my
I had that gut.
life.
Yeah, I had that gut feeling. Like I'm like,
I
this is
know.
about to take off for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I really felt it at a young age. I'm like, these doors are opening. I feel it. You know what I'm saying? I can taste it. And so my thing was, okay, cool. I'm gonna honor what my mother wants. I'm gonna honor what, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And I'm gonna graduate high school and I'm gonna go to New York. And that's when it really kicked in for me. That's when I said, okay, cool. I'm out here. I'm by myself. I don't have no. I'm out here. And
Right.
I'm from New York, so I have family in New York, so I was able to
Yeah.
stay with people. You know what I'm saying? I had places to
There was
go.
nothing. There was nothing holding you back at
It
that point.
wasn't holding
School
me
was
back,
done,
you know. And
and I could do
school was
whatever I
done.
wanted.
I could do whatever I wanted to do, and I had the support out there. So, like I said, I was able to sleep on couches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, my grandmother's house and my aunts and cousins and all that. But my thing was, I gotta get to the city because I need to. And at that time, they had it was they had A&Rs coming out to
To
open
the
mics
shows.
around the city
Yeah.
shows. Right? So I would go to older open mics, and that's where I met Maria Davis, who was a big influence in my life. She opened up so many doors for me. She's I call her my god. She's my godmother. You know,
Yeah.
like that's what it is. But she was one of the premier, like one of the main promoters in New York. She had Soul Cafe, and I would
Right.
go to Soul Cafe and I would sing. You know, Sam Cooke and Donny Hathaway, all those people I named,
Yeah.
and we had a Universal rep in the audience, and that's how I got my deal with Universal Records. I just hit the pavement. I just started singing everywhere.
Wow.
Soul
Wow.
Cafe, Wilson's. There was Sugar Bar on 72nd Street. I just went hard.
I
Because
remember.
that's
I
what I
remember
go to my
when
airport. I'm not gonna rock out. You know what I'm saying? I gotta hit all the areas. So
you was there to
that's
work.
what I did. Yeah.
So you signed with Universal first?
I signed Universal Records was my first my record deal. Yeah.
Okay.
I had to sign with
And
Universal
what
Records.
was that experience like?
Oh man, that experience was amazing because it's a major label
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to work with some incredible artists. Alicia Keys. I
Yeah.
did 2 songs with Alicia Keys, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, the Underdogs out in LA, Scott Storch,
Wow.
Sean Garrett wrote a couple of songs for me. You know, Bobby Valentino was on a song with me doing backgrounds with the song that me and Sean Garrett wrote. You know, it was supposed to be the first single with feature Lloyd Banks. So it was a great experience. I had access to all of these different you know, producers and artists, and it was just like I was like, wow, I'm here now. I
Yeah.
did it.
That's
I
some
did
big
it.
name.
I'm in the game. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
in the game. I mean, whenever you're in the studio with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis,
Yeah. There's nowhere else to go. That's
you
it.
in the game. Like you in the door. Like you
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had a budget. I had a big budget. I didn't have to worry about money. You know, and I was doing what I love to do. I was working. You know, and
Yeah.
I was on my way.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So, what made you kind of like say, okay, I'm gonna write these songs, and this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna lead these projects. Like, how was that process for you?
You say it again. What was the question?
Just in your writing and like picking a project and saying, okay, this is the type of project I want to do, and this is what I'm gonna put my energy into. Like, how are you? Like, what inspires you to kind of like create that project and then take hold of it and say, okay, now I'll call in these people, but this is my project and this is what I want to do.
See, that's the thing, right? In the beginning, I had no creative control. I had
Uh,
nothing. I wasn't. I was. They told me I couldn't write. I couldn't. Don't write. We got everything. We gonna have everything for you. You know, we're gonna bring you the songs. All you gotta do is sing them. All you gotta do is go to the studio. All you gotta do is sing. And for a minute, I was like, okay, cool. I was happy because I had the deal. So I wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? But after a while, I'm like, but I'm a writer.
right.
I can write, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to choose, the songs that I want to be able to, sing. And
Mhm.
I wasn't allowed to do any of that. So when you asked that, that's why when you initially asked it, it kind of threw me off because I didn't have that experience. I
Right.
never had that experience on Universal Records ever.
But I feel like it's important to talk about that because I'm sure
Yeah.
you're not the only person who has had the experience you have. I think more people actually have your experience than they do have creative control,
Yeah. And the
especially as
bigger the
big labels,
label, yeah,
these
exactly. I
labels
was gonna say that. The bigger the
control.
label, the less control. Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
The bigger the budget, the less control,
Less
right?
control.
Because
We putting up
control
this
the
money.
money
Yeah.
is the
And
control.
that's how it was for me. That's how it was. And it was like I felt myself like I was just getting miserable in that situation. Like, and it's like, and I try not to complain because it's like I'm where I want to be, but
Right.
I'm not really, as an artist, I'm not really feeling fulfilled. And I'm the type of artist, like I'm very hands-on, you know what I'm saying? I'm very
Mhm.
creative, and I love writing. Writing is my thing. I'm a better writer than I'm a speaker. You know what I'm saying? Like I can get my ideas across through writing. Like writing is my thing. So I
Yeah.
always wanted to write, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that I couldn't write was like, it was like, oh, damn, it was a buzzkill.
Yeah.
Um,
But I heard while you was there, you had some very successful songs while you were there, though,
yeah,
right?
I did. I definitely did. I definitely did. It worked out. It worked out until it didn't work out anymore. Because,
So where were you when you like got nominated for the Soul Train Awards?
so that was years later. That's when I had got off Universal Records. I actually got dropped from Universal Records because
Yeah.
a lot of things happened. It was like it's a roller coaster of things that happened, and
Yeah.
it led to a lot of animosity, between myself and my production company and my A&R. It's like everybody, we just lost our way. You know what I'm saying? It was no more.
It sounds like
We
you just kind of grew, though. You just
yeah,
grew. You just
yeah,
outgrew each other. But it sounds
yeah,
like you
yeah.
got in and you don't really know much when you get in. And then as you navigate the water, you're like, wait, okay, I'm growing in this space. Let me take control of it
But
myself.
when I lost it, when I lost the deal, it really put me in like a rut. Like it really put me in a bad place. I
Yeah.
was like literally depressed. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, and I
Anyone would
felt
be.
like I was like, maybe I shouldn't have said so much. Maybe I shouldn't have,
Right.
maybe I shouldn't have said nothing. Maybe I should have just been quiet and just like just shut up and you know what I'm saying, sing the songs they wanted me to sing.
Do what they wanted me to do.
Yeah, maybe and for years it just happened.
Yeah.
This occurred for years. Like in my mind, I was like, damn, if I would have, if I could just take those moments back, I would have just been quiet. And it put
Right.
me in a deep depression. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that passed. I got myself back together, and then that's when I signed with Pendulum Records. Ruben Rodriguez.
Okay.
And I signed Pendulum Records, and it was like a whole new like a whole new life for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, okay, I did it once, but I didn't think I could do it again. I thought after
Yeah.
Universal, I was over. I was all damn,
Right.
I'm my one shot done.
Yeah.
Signed to God rest his soul, uh Ruben Rodriguez. He just passed away. He was my manager, and I was signed to his label, and that through him is where I got my Billboard songs on Billboard. I got my Soul Train nominations, and I was able to really feel what it felt like to be, an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With stuff that people actually heard, songs on the radio. So he and I together, we created that opportunity for me.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
Universal, it didn't happen with Universal. It happened with Pendulum, the boutique.
So I
And
always say this. I always say if you could do something once, maybe you just got lucky. But if you could do something twice,
it's for you.
then
It's
you
yours.
know
Yeah.
that it's real.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like you could have just been the first time around, you're like, all right, this just happened. The second time you make it happen and you get where you want to be, you're like, okay, now I know.
Like that Mariah Carey song, and I'm a big lyricist. I love lyrics. If you
Okay,
should
I
return
love
to me,
Mariah Carey. What
if
song?
you should return to me, we truly were meant to be.
Yeah,
That's what it is. If
yeah,
if my career returned to me, then it was meant. You know what I'm saying? It was meant to happen. If I was
yeah.
able to do it again,
Mhm.
then it's like it came to me the second time
Right.
around because I wasn't really trying too hard. Like I said, I already had kind of given up a little bit. I was like, all
Yeah,
right, cool, I got a taste of it. Let me go figure life out now.
yeah.
I don't know life without being an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're
This
not
time,
supposed to. That's why it happened again.
that's what
You're
happened
not
again.
supposed to. So the song My Love, I listened to today and I had all these questions I wrote down while I was listening to it, but mostly I wanted to know, did you write it?
My love, Jaron Hits. He goes by Smith Street. He
Hmm.
wrote that record for me. Amazing. And I just spoke to him on the phone today, and I was telling him how amazing he is
Yeah.
as a songwriter. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't worked with a lot of different songwriters because I write myself. But the
Yeah.
songwriters that I did collaborate with, like the ones that I trust, the ones
Hmm.
that actually made it on the album are the ones that I really trust. And I'm like, okay, you write how I would write.
Right. You said what
Like
I
it's
would have
like
said.
you said what I would have said. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't have said it
Yeah.
better. And if
Right.
somebody can give me a song like that, then I'm like, cool. I'm not about like,
Well,
oh, I
introduce
gotta
the
write it.
song.
I
We're
gotta
gonna
write it. I
play it.
gotta write
Introduce the song. We're gonna play it right now.
it. Okay, so yeah, so this is My Love, written by Smith Street, sang by yours truly. I was Shaliek at the time. And it's just a beautiful song with a beautiful melody and a beautiful message. And that's what I'm trying to spread. Just love.
What's the message? What's the message?
The message is the message is love.
Yeah.
Message is love. Just showing in his love for anything, love for anybody. You know what I'm saying? But it's love. Love is such a universal thing. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
And I feel like it's something that music now today is lacking. Is lacking love. It's
All
lacking
right.
love.
Let's get into My Love.
My love.
So yeah, I was really vibing to that song because I just liked it. But we're gonna transition now because you said you are now working in film. So you're not making music anymore?
So here's how this goes. Ruben, the guy I told you I signed to Pendulum Records, he was like I was like, okay, cool. I got somebody who finally gets me, who finally I feel like supports me, who genuinely like loves me. You know what I'm saying? And it was mutual. And we created magic together. I recorded the album Blood, Sweat, Tears. It it dropped. Three singles came from it. Two singles hit like top 20 on Billboard. You know what I'm saying? So I was getting like that. I
Oh,
was
he was
like, wow,
there. He was there.
it's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not just singing, and I'm writing. I wrote pretty much that whole album. I
Wow.
wrote the whole album really. You know what I'm saying? With
Yeah.
a couple of writers here and there. But I wrote that album. I was able to write. I was able to be myself. I was able to really, really feel what it felt like to be a real artist. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
how I saw it in my head. And God rest his soul. He passed away.
Yeah.
He passed away. This is after the Soul Train nominations and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But we were on our way to recording the second album. We were speaking, talking over ideas on how direction we should go. And I
Yeah.
was excited, and it was I was like, okay, it's album number 2. We through the door now. Now we're gonna blow it up. You know what I'm saying? Because people know who I am. I'm
Yeah.
playing on the radio all the time. Like I have records out.
Hmm.
So it's about to be big. And then and when he passed, I lost. I, that
Right.
was my support system.
Right.
All in that one person. He was the
Yeah.
whole company. So when he passed away, and then 2 years before, like maybe 3 years before he passed away, his son passed away, which was my radio guy. Like he was the guy,
Right.
promoting the songs at radio. And
Hmm.
so like in the span of 3 years, my whole support system just they
Right.
vanished.
Wow.
And so I was like, God, what are you trying to tell me? Like, what's is
Yeah.
again? And
Yeah.
this time, it's like, so I said, I'm not gonna do the depressing thing again. I'm not gonna fall into no depression. I already know what that feels like. I'm not doing it. Let me figure this out. And I figured it out in film. I said, I'm not gonna do music. Music is just, it's hurting me too
Right.
much. It's
Right.
like, it's letting me down. It's like, I can't, I don't want to do that no more. And it led me to change my name and everything. I was like, I just want to be a new person. I want to be a new thing. I just don't want to feel that no more.
Right. You've
And that's,
outgrown it.
yeah, not that I outgrew it. It's just
Yeah.
that it just, I don't know. I feel like it just, I don't know. In a way, like it let me down. Like I was here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Someone's
certain circumstances, like I wasn't ready to let it go.
right.
But at the time, I said I had no choice. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It was just like, it was too much. It took too much energy for me to get up and do it again. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
said, let me do something else. And I always acting was always in the back of my mind. And
Right.
before Ruben passed away, we were kind of talking over ideas about reading scripts, about me being. So I heard his voice in my head, and I'm like, you know, acting. You should,
Yeah.
I heard him saying you should read some scripts. We should, we should, turn you to a, actor. It's gonna help your music. He was always about ideas. We would always shoot
Right.
ideas back and forth. So, and I heard his voice in my head. I'm like, let me try this acting thing out. So I called a couple of friends, and at this time I was living in Atlanta, and they said, you should be a background artist, like a extra. You know what I'm saying? You can
Hmm.
sign up to a company, and they pretty much call you to be on different movie sets, but as a background actor.
Right.
And my first experience doing that, I was like, wow. I saw the cameras everywhere, and I met, it was on the set of Star. Queen Latifah was on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I saw her in action doing her acting thing, and I'm like, and then they actually picked me to be like a featured background artist. So I actually saw myself on TV, like
Right.
like a month later. So
Right.
when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I was like, I
Do
gotta
this.
get into acting. Yeah, I was like, this is dope. I
Yeah.
want to do this. So I got excited about it. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have to be depressed. I found something that can keep me up. You know what I'm saying? Keep me busy. And I fell in love with it. I fell in
Yeah.
love with filmmaking. I fell in love with acting. And so I started learning the craft. I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna start from I gotta start from the bottom up, because I'm an recording artist. I'm not an
Right.
actor, but I'm an entertainer. So I get
Right.
it.
Yeah.
I
And
get
it's
it.
not that hard.
It's all in the same thing. It's all the same thing. You're an entertainer. You're gonna show up. You're gonna do the work. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I did my study, and I called I called on people to be my mentor. I did it that way. I'm old school with it. You know what I'm saying? I got
Yeah.
my grandfather's old soul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know you need mentors. I know you need to study. I know you need to like get out there and grind the pavement. You can't just be like, okay, I got songs on Billboard. I got not Soul Train nominations. Pick me, pick me, pick me. No, this is a whole nother field that you have to respect these actors that have been doing this all their lives.
Yeah.
So I put myself in that same boat, and I grind it out, and I got myself an agent, and it was uphill from there, and I started booking.
Ooh. So I love, because I love the stories where people just triumph. I really do, because
Yeah,
we get knocked down sometimes, and everybody needs to hear a story where somebody overcomes it. You know what I mean? Because it makes somebody else feel like they could overcome it
they
too.
could do it, and you
You
can.
know?
I'm talking to everybody out there. I know I'm looking at the camera now, because I know I'm looking at you when we're doing the interview, but I'm looking at you now.
Okay.
Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, that you gotta do it. And
Just
as long as it doesn't compromise your integrity, do it,
yeah,
because you're worth it. You know what I'm saying? You're worth it. Your
sure.
career is worth it. Your life is worth it. Your livelihood is worth it. Your mental health is worth it. Your physical health is worth it. Everything is worth it.
I
Do it.
love
Put the work
I love
in.
that. I love that. I love when we empower people here. So so what's the movie you're working on right now?
So, uh, I don't know when this is airing. We might can cut this clip out. When is this airing?
On Friday.
Okay, by this
I'm gonna,
time. So,
because you're on a I'm gonna have to edit this out. But aren't you on a promotion tour right now?
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
so I'm gonna move some things around so it'll come out Friday midnight.
So yeah, all right. So this is we celebrate. So when is it coming out? We're celebrating Black History Month right now, right?
Yes.
And the first film that I was actually blessed to be a part of, it was a short film. It's called The Inventor, and it's a story about the life of Garrett A. Morgan, um, directed by Philip Musi, who's a great, he's a phenomenal director. Like it was my first experience working with a director of his caliber, and he just like really, really, wow, it was amazing, being on set and just watching him work and taking his direction. You know what I'm saying? So I
Right.
played Garrett Morgan's younger brother. Y'all can go on YouTube right now and
Hmm.
type in The Inventor. Um, I guess you would say The Inventor short film, and yeah, I'm in that. You know what I'm saying? So it 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 was in it went through the film festival circuit, and we got a whole bunch of accolades, in the film circuit. So
Yeah.
it's a
That's
great
important
short
to know
story
that,
about the life.
for real, because they kind of put a lot of films on the map once that festival is
Oh
over.
yeah, oh yeah. Like we hit the Martha's Vineyard Film Festival. We hit like mad film festivals, and critically acclaimed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a great film. I want y'all to check it out. It's on YouTube. The Inventor. Put in his name, Philip Musi. Maybe that'll come up because there's probably some other inventors out there. So in the inventor, Philip Musi, and then Musey, and then put Garrett A. Morgan, and you can check that out. And then also, I'm a part of. I'm in the cast of this film that's hitting streaming networks. Um, on February 27th. It's called Jack Squad. Jack Squad 2.
All
You know,
right.
so it's hitting. I think Tubi premieres it on February 27th, and then
Mhm.
Amazon Prime and everywhere else. I think Film Rise and a few other places they air it March 1st. So check that out. It's called Jack Squad 2. Great. It's a great film. When I tell you it's amazing, like I read the script. Of course, you got to read the script before. Well, I like to read the scripts. Like some actors, they show up to work and they just do their part. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
They only read their part in the script and
They
they
don't
okay.
read the whole script?
Some people don't. You know what I'm
That's
saying? But I like
crazy.
I like to
Like,
know the fact. Like I got it gets me more into my character. You know what I'm
I
saying?
want to know what the whole film is about before I decide to even do it.
Exactly. But some people they don't do that. They don't do that. They don't do that.
That's
I know
crazy.
personally some people don't do that. But I read the script and it's like I could not stop reading it. I
Yeah.
couldn't stop. I read the whole thing. Like I thought I was gonna be, reading like 10 pages at a time, 20 pages at a time. I read the whole script because I could not stop. So the film, I haven't seen the film yet, so I hope it's like what I see it in my head, but it
Yeah.
it was beautifully written. You know what I'm saying? So Samuel Rankin, she wrote it. Semboya Entertainment, that's her
Yeah.
company. And she directed it, female director. Watching her work too was amazing. You know what I'm saying? Just like the way she was able to tell a story. And it's a story about three women who fell on hard times, who needed some quick money, and they resorted to jacking guys, jacking men,
Yeah.
for their money, but they did it, they were clever. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole deep storyline behind why they do what they do. They were scammers,
Yeah.
but and then they jacked the wrong person, and now they're in trouble because now some gangsters are coming at them, and I play one of the gangsters. I play one of the gangsters.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm listening. I'm like, it's not on now because I'm about to go watch
it's
it.
so it's
That
so
sounds good.
good. It's so good. It's very relatable, and yes, it's like it's a dope story.
Do you feel like playing like you have the versatility to play different characters? Because like these two projects sound totally different.
Very different. Yeah, very different. And I do, and that's one thing um that I want to be known for, to have range in my acting, what I'm saying, not just playing one, typecasting me to play one type of
Yeah,
role.
I hate that. I
Yeah,
really
I want to be able to play anything. That's why I love Will Smith. Will Smith, to me, he has range. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
He can do the funny, and he can play a lot of different characters. I
yeah.
know he's going through a lot right now after that slap, but I'm still
I feel
team
like
Will.
you'll be alright. I feel like you'll be fine. I don't
Yeah, I hope so, man, because
it'll
he's
flow over.
contributed so much into in the whole game, and he really inspired a whole bunch of people,
Yeah,
a whole generation of actors, and I feel like we shouldn't forget that.
yeah. I think
Saying
that's bigger than smacking
then
some.
the mistake that he made, we all make mistakes. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and I really do. I think a lot of other people do a lot way worse things. So I feel like it should. I just feel like it should blow over.
Yeah,
Life
hopefully,
happen and shit happens,
hopefully, it
and
happens.
that's that.
But
I
yeah,
really
so as
fight
far
for
as range,
just me.
yeah, so as far as range and stuff like that, and then Denzel, it's like, I want to be known for, to be able to just like really stretch myself to play
Yeah,
different things, and just and challenge myself to play different
yeah.
characters.
Denzel definitely.
Yeah, yeah,
Because him in Training Day and him in Malcolm X, right? It's just the
yeah,
range.
yeah,
So
yeah.
totally understand that. Who would you love to work with next?
As far as like in the film world,
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Forrest Whitaker.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, I love his he's an excellent director, excellent actor. So I'd love to do something with him.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman has always been one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
You know, I'm inspired. I'm inspired by him greatly.
Yeah. I love him in Shawshank.
Yeah. Oh
It's
man,
one of my favorites for
I,
him. I
I
love him.
loved him in Lean on Me. That was one of my
Oh yeah.
movie that. Oh
Crazy too. Call me
yeah,
Batman.
Lean on Me is yeah. Oh man, that's like yeah. Those actors, of course Denzel. You know, of course Denzel.
Yeah.
Uh, like play his son or something. You know, something like
Probably pull it off. You probably could. Uh,
that.
would you ever consider putting soundtracks to those films or putting music ever into that?
Ding, 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 ding. That's my whole. That's the idea that I have.
Yeah.
I want to incorporate my music with my film. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like when I'm focusing on my film stuff, I'm so engulfed in it.
Hmm.
So it's like I feel like I'm neglecting, and I have taken a break from my music, but I'm re-inspired now to do more music through the filmmaking that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like bring the music on. So I know the music is going to become prevalent again. So I don't want to put one on top of the other. And
Yeah.
so what I'm planning on doing is just incorporating the music in the film. So that's going to
Yeah.
make it like an even playing field for me, where I
Yeah.
can be paying
Sync
attention
it
to
up.
both at the same time.
Yeah. So many films right now. Well, I guess because I'm an artist too, but I'm big on like telling the story not just with the visuals, but with the audio and like
Yeah.
using the right
Hmm.
music to be in a film for me is like I wouldn't like everybody else is watching the movie and I'm like, I wouldn't have picked that song. I would have picked, you know?
Yo,
Um
I'm the same way with this because
yeah,
sometimes the music makes the scene. It's
yeah,
like you remember that scene because of the
yeah,
music in the
yeah.
background.
And there's actually movies that I didn't love the movie, but I was like, let me go Google the soundtrack
The soundtrack.
because I liked a couple tracks. Or there's a movie, it's Iron Jaw Clad Angel, something like that. I don't know, but the movie takes place like 1920s, but it was
Yeah.
a whole hip hop soundtrack.
Oh wow.
So I would have not normally wanted to watch this movie because it
Yeah.
was about the women's suffrage, but they was all white women, not black women, but that's a whole nother thing. But it was a black director and an
Yeah.
all hip hop soundtrack on a
That's
1920s movie. And I was like, this is
different.
whoever thought of this is brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wow.
I definitely think that the music is so
Wow.
important
That is brilliant. That's a
in
dope
telling
idea.
the story. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you can tell so much more of a story. It makes it so much more intense if you pick the right tracks to go with it.
And I was gonna say too, as a songwriter, because I'm a songwriter, like I find that writing script, like writing, because basically when you write songs, you're telling a story.
Hmm.
So as now that I'm a screenwriter, and a script writer, I find myself feeling like I'm writing a song,
Yeah.
telling a story, but I'm like, I'm creating. So the experience for me is like it's similar, it's parallel.
Yeah.
I'm really able to like really dive into these characters and dive into the story because I'm so used to being writing songs, and I'm
Yeah.
so used to telling stories through my music. So it's
That's
hand in hand for me. Yeah, it's hand in hand.
that's so dope because it's just like it's not even work for you anymore.
No, it's like it's an escape for me. It's
Yeah.
an escape. It's an escape. You know what I'm saying? I'm an entertainer and I love entertaining, but when I'm not entertaining, I'm a loner.
Right.
Like you don't
Can we
understand.
talk
Like
about that? Because I thought something was wrong with me because I'm like that.
yeah, I'm very
But I'm okay in my solitude. And
I'm very
actually,
much
it makes me more creative.
yeah, yeah. I recharge. That's when I recharge. I recharge when I'm not in it. When I'm not because when I'm entertaining, I if I can just be a fly on the wall and just watch me, because I'm charged. I'm like
Right.
I'm an entertainer.
You're
I'm
on, you're
going
on.
all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just naturally that's me. I don't try. I don't have to try hard. I'm naturally high. Like I love having a great time. I love making people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah.
me. I'm an entertainer. But then you need to recharge. You
Right.
need to charge back up because that takes a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Being an entertainer takes people don't understand. Being an entertainer takes a lot. These superstars, when you looking at what Beyonce doing out here and what Michael Jackson was doing and what Whitney Houston was doing and what Luther and all of them and
Yeah.
Stevie and the baby and Migos, all of that takes a lot of energy,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
So you need to find time to, what I'm saying? So for me, when I write my scripts and I'm writing stories, that's my recharge.
Right.
That it creates a balance for me. You know what I'm saying?
I like
Yeah.
that. So what's that process like? when you're like, okay, I got an idea for a script. What's that
Mhm.
process like for you when you sit down and like, okay, I'm gonna write this or I'm gonna put my ideas
It,
together?
it comes from real places. I just wrote a short film called, and I didn't film it yet, but I want to film it. It's called Barefoot Lincoln, and
Mm,
it's about a homeless guy who it's about a journey of a homeless guy's. Um, uh, it's about the journey of Lincoln, who's a homeless guy, back
right,
the journey of his journey back to the stage, his journey back to what he loves, and he reminds me of
right,
me. He reminds me of
right.
me. You know what I'm saying? But the idea came from I was on a train one time in New York, and this homeless guy walked on the train, and he was a comedian. I think he
He
was
had
funny.
no shoes on.
He had me laughing. No, he had shoes on. He had me laughing because he said, what y'all doing? Sitting on my furniture in here. I need y'all to knock next time y'all come in my house. Just gonna come in here and just sit on all of my furniture. And he was just creating a moment.
Mhm.
You know, it was a real moment. You know what I'm saying? But it was like he used comedy to
Yeah,
whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it was a real moment for him in his head. He's like, I'm gonna create this stage.
right,
The seat that y'all sitting on is my couch. You know what
right.
I'm saying? Y'all
It's
got y'all shoes on my rug. Y'all ain't even touch y'all shoes off. So I wrote a short film based on, from what I saw on the train. You know,
oh, that's
it
so
comes
dope.
from real places. So these characters are real people.
Right.
It's like real experiences. You know what I'm saying? And as a songwriter, you write songs based on. I don't have to. Every song doesn't have to be about you or your life. It's about what you heard from somebody else.
Right.
What somebody else experienced. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always, as an artist, I'm always open. I keep my mind and my ears open because everything is an idea.
I love it. I love
Everything's
it.
an idea, and you put it into your work, and that's what my songs have always been, and that's what my films are becoming.
So tell me about this Ain't Supposed to Cry song because I'm gonna play that next.
Mhm. Well, so "Ain't Supposed to Cry" was another song that it's crazy how we playing songs that I didn't write, but it's I love it though because Anita McLeod is another one of those songwriters that it's like, wow, I would have said that too.
Right.
Because I felt that many times. Anita McLeod, she wrote "You Remind Me" for Usher. She's a hit
All
songwriter,
right.
and she wrote that for me. And the label, Ruben Rodriguez, he was like, and it was the last song that we had to record for the album. And he said, "I have a song that you're gonna love." He said, "Because you know why? Because I've seen you be so. Because I'm a passionate person. I've seen you cry from passion, just from because
Right.
you were so passionate about something."
Yeah.
And he said, and you didn't. He said, and something about crying. He said, I always grew up and I felt like crying was for a man was weak. He said,
Right.
but for some reason, he said, and I'm almost 70 years old. And
Yeah.
he said, I saw so much strength and
Hmm.
I saw so much, what I'm saying? I looked at it as strength and passion when you cried.
Right.
I must have been crying about, it was something. It was something. It was career based. But it was something that happened. I can't even remember what it was. I probably just shot it out of my mind. And that's how that song was delivered to me. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Ain't Supposed to Cry" will be the perfect song for you because I've seen you in action. And I've seen, you know, how, you know, how you can deliver this because you live it.
Right.
I'm not afraid to cry. I've cried. Sometimes I cry in silent. I don't
Yeah.
cry in front of people most of the time. A lot of my cry, especially when I lost that deal, I cried a
Yeah.
lot.
I feel like in society we don't give men, especially men of color in particular,
Yeah,
in my experience, a safe space to cry.
face to cry.
We don't create a safe space to cry. We don't allow them to put down the weight. We don't allow them to feel any feelings other than anger,
I felt so
and
much better after
frustration.
crying. Yeah, it feels so good. The fellas, it feels good to cry.
And so
Sometimes
it's really
you gotta
important,
just let it out.
yeah,
Yeah,
to be
you gotta
able to
keep it in.
articulate your feelings, to let out what you're feeling, and to understand that that's not a weakness.
Not
Actually,
a
at this point, it's a vulnerability, and you're
vulnerability.
not weak if you allow yourself to be
Be
vulnerable.
vulnerable.
but y'all ain't ready for that conversation.
Baby, come on now, come on now. Like you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah,
No,
so
if you once you bring yourself to that point of being like, and and for me, that's what being an artist is. And I know everybody listening, are not gonna be artists, but I feel like as an artist, you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable.
yeah,
You know
and
what
you
I'm
have to
saying?
allow
That's how
yourself to
you
feel because it's going to make you a better writer, a better
become
actor, a better singer, dancer, whatever it is. And even if you're not an artist, it's just going to
yeah.
make you a better person when you can feel what
Yeah.
you need to feel and be able to articulate it,
It's a
right?
human emotion. It's not. It's not. It's
Yeah,
not. Catered to a gender. It's a
yeah,
human emotion. You're a human being.
yeah,
You're a human being. We're going through so much, especially now after just after the pandemic and COVID, and just the stress of everything. It's just like
yeah,
don't hold stuff in. Let it out. Talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And let it out. Let it out. However you gotta let it out. Go for walks. You know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do. So, "Ain't Supposed to Cry" is one of my favorite songs, and I think that it's a song that men need to listen to.
all right.
And
So we're going to
you know,
listen to it right now. Let's go. Ain't Supposed to Cry.
yeah.
See, I told y'all needed to listen to it.
Yeah,
Um,
man. I walked
it's
through
one
the
of my
fire for you, baby.
I'm a mother of a young man, and I really feel like those things are important. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes he be coming at me, and he's like, "Mom," I'm like, "Don't be mad," and he's like, "Mom, you can't tell me not to be mad. You need to
Mhm,
let me be mad and give me
mhm,
some space to be mad." And I was like,
mhm.
"Oh,
Yeah,
okay."
bro, that's
So
real.
I
That's
had
real.
to he had to tell me like, "Mom, you can't tell me how to feel. Let me feel this for a minute."
Mhm.
And when I'm ready, I'll come talk to you. When I'm ready, I'll come out my room. And it wasn't until my own son told me that I was like, "Damn, I've been living my whole life just not
Mhm. But
allowing space."
I'm glad that, and that's important, for us to be able to listen. You know what I'm saying? So you as a woman, you know what I'm saying, to be able to just listen to what your son was conveying. Because a
Yeah,
lot of people don't want to hear it. They want to hear that, oh, that's weak. I don't want to hear it.
yeah,
But the fact that you actually listen to him, you know what I'm saying, and
yeah,
let him express himself, it means something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, we should all be able um to be allowed, what I'm saying, to express ourselves.
Yeah, I just like I
How
said,
we
I'm a big advocate for like men being able to be in safe spaces in this day and age. And I feel like I love y'all women, but like y'all just I don't know where it got lost in that we have to be so tough that we just don't, if we cry, it's like, don't you feel sorry for me? Don't, you did this, I'm hurting. But we don't ever give a space to be like, okay, this man needs to cry or not doesn't need to cry, but whatever he's feeling,
whatever he
he
need to
has
release.
feelings.
Yeah, whatever he need to release. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's feeling something, and I think there needs to be more conversation about that, and more conversation in parenting around that. A little girl doesn't she crying and everybody's running to her, and a boy crying is like, get up, you got to be tough. And then now this poor kid's walking around for 5 years not being able to cry, not being able to smile, not being able, to
So
do
no emotion. So no emotion.
yeah, like how
Like,
unhealthy is that?
yeah.
So, yeah, but we're going to change it up now. So, what are you listening to right now? What's on your playlist?
Um, honestly, I have not. I've been so disconnected from music. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I have not been really listening to any music like that. But I do like what Bruno Mars did. I do like what he did uh with the leave the door open and all that. I forgot the other kid's name, but they killed it. I love what they're bringing. They bring that authentic sound. You know what I'm saying, band and vocals.
Yeah,
I love it. You know what I'm saying. So Bruno Mars is one of my favorites. Um, yeah, I love CeeLo.
yeah,
CeeLo Green. I love CeeLo Green.
yeah.
That's my guy.
Big talent.
Yeah. And then I just love different music like blues. I love jazz. I love rock.
Yeah, But
I love fusion. I love just a whole
but to be a
lot of
good musician, you have to.
yeah.
Because like I listened to that first song, that my love song, and I was like, wait a minute.
It's different influences in there, right?
Like I heard it. I knew it. I was like, wait a minute, I don't know the name, but I know where like I knew
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
So I think in order to be a successful musician and
yeah,
also even a filmmaker and pairing music together, you really have to have a eclectic palette. You
yeah.
need to know
Eclectic
jazz,
palace. Yeah,
rock, blues, pop, country, because you need to know the right thing at the right time at the right place.
yeah,
So you have to be able, as an artist, to be able to absorb different kinds of art so that you can then create your own.
absolutely.
That's wonderful. I'm
Yeah,
so glad, Armin, that you got to come hang out with me on Save Loud
yeah.
podcast. I'm so excited about the movies coming out. I am going to go Google in a minute um, the music that you have, and I'm looking forward to all the things you do in the future. Where can everybody find you if they're looking for you?
I appreciate you having me too. This is a great conversation, and I'm proud of you, Queen, for doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of you for doing your thing, and for you being, giving artists a platform to, and we just said this, but to express ourselves and to promote ourselves, because without you guys and without the fans, you know, how can we get our stuff out there? How can we get
Right.
it shared? How can you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you giving me this
Yes.
platform. I want to
Yes.
say that first. And then y'all can follow me on Instagram. It's official Shaliek, Shaliek. I kept the same name. I go by Armin AC now, but
Mhm.
Instagram, I don't know, it wouldn't let me change my thing, so I just kept it. So it's cool. But official Shaliek. And like I said, go to YouTube. Type in the inventor Philip Musi, Gary Day Morgan. Check out the short film that I'm in. I play Gary Day Morgan's younger brother. And then look out for Jack Squad. It's premiering on Tubi February 27th, and it's premiering everywhere else on March 1st. So
Hey, I'm so excited. You're gonna have to come back when your short film actually comes out so that we can promote it here and I can work.
yes, Barefoot Lincoln. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's gonna be a great one.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Thank you
yeah.
so much for being here. I appreciate
Thank you
you.
for having me. Thank you. Thank you.
My computer is moving really slow tonight. Thank you so much. I'm still recording, but thank you so much. Um,
Yeah, that was dope. So yeah, so Jay, he hit me like a month ago. He was like, yeah, he's like, I want to link you up with my girl, do the show. And
yeah,
at the time, I was like, I was in the middle of a whole bunch of stuff, and I didn't know the premiere date for the movie. So I was like, can we? I want to do it, but just not right now. I don't
right.
know if he told you that. Yeah. So I hit him yesterday, and he was like, yo, man, thank you for remembering. He's like, because I really wanted you to do the show,
Yeah.
and he was like, it's gonna be dope, and I'm glad I did hit him back, and I'm glad he called me, because yeah, this is actually my first interview I've done in years.
Wow. I hope it was okay.
I
I
took
should
I took I took a long break from doing everything, and this was a great just introduction for me coming back and just doing, what I'm saying, just
Yeah,
getting
it should feel
people
really
ready.
comfortable, and that's what I
Yeah.
try to do.
It was dope. You did your thing, Karen. You definitely did.
Thank you so much. Well,
Yeah,
what I wanted to talk to you about is, yeah, I do this podcasting. You went to my website. You saw
yeah. I
my
saw.
my film that I put into the film festival. It was on
No, you did. You put
the
it.
website. Okay, so I did what you did. I saw a poster at the college and it said, join the film festival. So I took my little camera out and then I wrote this little script in my car. And then I called my brother up and I said, would you film this with me? And he said, buy me pizza. And I said, okay. And I shot this film. And then I went home and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do with this? And I sat at the kitchen table for 2 days and I edited myself. And then I edit all the music and I put it in there and I put it in the film festival. It's just a trailer, and I won.
Oh,
And I was
Con-
like, I got up there to get my trophy, and I kid you not, I was like, oh shit, it has my name on it. I had no idea I could do this.
congratulations. Wait, what's the name of the film?
It's a trailer, and it's called Rich.
So wait, so you put the trailer? You can submit trailers in festivals?
Yeah, I put a trailer in a festival at a college. The college had a
Oh,
festival. They had different categories. They had like a PSA. they had trailers, they had short film. So you just put it in whatever category. And so I
Oh,
put the trailer in
what,
the trailer category, and I was like, I'll shoot a PSA because after I shot the trailer, I was like, this is fun. And then I shot a PSA on child abuse. I got nominated for that one too. And I was like,
so what's the
oh,
name of it again?
it's called Rich.
Rich.
It's on my website if you go to the photography page.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
And it's about, so I've been writing this project and I never wanted to tell anyone because I was like, it's so good. I don't want to tell anyone. And when my daughters used to go to softball practice, I don't like softball. So I would sit in the car and I would write
Yeah,
because I don't like softball, but I had to be there, right?
yeah.
And it is a story about a young man who has special needs because I'm a special education teacher and who
Nice.
stops talking when he's a kid because his mother's on drugs. She's actually like HIV positive. His mother's on drugs. She has a affair with her drug counselor. His brother has 3 strikes. They live in the projects. His sister's clean, go get her, trying to get out the hood, but she gonna get pregnant by one of the guys that the brother know and all that shit. And I was like, I'm gonna write this series. And the
Mm,
grandma's like holding the family together.
mm.
Um, and so I would just sit there and I would just write. And that is the project that I want to put out. So
So
I,
you said series.
yeah, it's gonna be a series.
So
You
did you
remember
do a pitch?
here?
Uh-huh.
It's like really grungy, cursy, yeah, series type of thing. Like they live in the projects, they live with the grandma. He's not a child anymore. So the way I'm writing it, he's not a child anymore. He's
Mm,
actually being interviewed.
okay. Oh, okay. And then he's going back in time,
So he's
like
going
memory.
back in time and he's
Yeah,
having these flashbacks. As a kid, he
that's
stopped
right.
talking and he would
Mm.
express himself by sketching pictures. Now he's an artist.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And so the way in my head is that he's sketching his story and then it comes to life and he's telling what it was like when his mom and his dad was fighting and he's hiding in the corner and she's on drugs and she don't come home. She didn't pick him up from school, yada, yada. And he's going through, his brother got arrested again and he got 3 strikes and grandma's sick and she got cancer. And they're like going, he's like living this life through these sketches as an
Mm,
older man.
yeah.
That's the film. I need to put it out there.
It sounds so brilliant. So what you do is you need a show Bible, you need a pitch deck. You got that?
No, but I make those for fun.
So you need to do that for your show. But the thing is with that I'm being told because I'm like I said, I'm new in the film business.
Yeah,
Although I'm making moves fast. 'Cause I learn first of all, I'm a fast learner.
yeah,
So just tell me something once and I got it. Like I
yeah,
got the concept. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm being told that you need to climb a ladder. Like with any other business, but you need to
yeah,
become a writer on like different writing teams. Like,
right,
so you want to try to get like an agent, a literary agent, and get you on some writing teams because no one's really going to take you seriously if you have
right.
never done
That's what
writing.
someone told me. There was like the idea is great, Karen, but and I tried to pitch it to
Yeah,
Amazon Prime and like Netflix, and they're like, but they're not even gonna look at you if you don't have an agent.
yeah, yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
even
So
gonna
you
look
need
at
an
your
agent. You need some type of experience. So get to climb that ladder, do the work. Do that work, and then once you're in a position to and it might take some time, but once you're in a position, the better position to pitch your stuff is
yeah,
gonna go a lot easier. You
yeah.
can get lucky and you can be like, okay, cool, here's something, and you can meet the right person that has connections, but what's the chances of that
Yeah,
happening?
I didn't know if I should keep doing it that way, or if I should be like, yo, I'll just shoot it myself.
Yeah, shoot just I mean that's a way to and just like build up your catalog, you know what I'm saying? So they'll
Mhm.
know they can everything
Yeah,
your work can speak for itself in
yeah.
that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like,
because
but just like,
I know I want full creative control. I know that
yeah,
for sure.
me too, me too. I'm at that point
Yeah, well, I
because
don't
we have it. We have the talent, so why not?
right, you're not telling my story if I don't have control over what you're telling. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So that when you were like, do what you want to do, that's I actually spoke to someone at the end of last year because I was like, I started building a Roku channel. And then I was like, this shit is hard. All the work I do it myself. I don't hire nobody for nothing.
yeah,
Just because I like it. But I
yeah,
tried to build this Roku channel. I was like, bro, I don't know ones and zeros in programming. And then I was like, well, I'll just pay someone to finish it and then shoot it myself and like
yeah,
put it on
yeah,
my own channel,
yeah, yeah.
you know? But yeah,
Wow.
go back to my website and go
I'm gonna
look
do
at
that.
I shot that a couple years ago, a long time ago actually. But that's the story that I want to tell.
Am I following you on? Let me follow you on IG. What's your IG?
It's I am Karen L. I am KARYNELL. And don't judge me by it, but people like the fuckery, so you know it
Fuckery.
sells.
Okay, I just followed you.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, we definitely got to keep in touch.
yeah, definitely. You have my email. You have my information. I'm gonna edit this up and
Can
it'll
you?
be out Friday midnight.
Wait, let me. You can't
Wait,
see it, huh?
I can't see it. Oh yeah, that's me.
That is fire.
That's me. I showed that picture to somebody else, somebody the other day. They was like, that's you. I was like, yeah, that's me. They didn't believe me. I
You
was
are
like, you know
best.
what? Y'all really disrespectful.
Fire.
That's me.
Okay. But yeah, follow me back and let's definitely. So you said Friday? Friday, you gonna
Friday.
Friday?
So I usually edit whenever I feel like it. Maybe tonight because I ain't going nowhere. So I edit because it makes me happy. I sit in my little studio and
Yeah.
drink my little drink
Yeah.
and edit my music and do what makes me happy. And then I cue everything up for for midnight. So
Okay.
by Friday morning, it's already out and on all
So
major
do,
platforms.
all right. So all right. Yeah. So let me know so that way I can
Yeah, I'm gonna tag you in it, and
yeah
I'll
yeah,
let
yeah.
you know when it goes live, and I'll do some promo on my Instagram, so you'll see all that, and you'll be
And I'll
tagged.
share it. Okay, perfect. Yeah,
Yeah,
because that's what I was gonna ask you, like how we like to promote it and stuff like that. So when you post something, I'll just share yours, and then I just
yeah, I do all of that stuff,
all right.
and then
You need a picture from me, or you gonna just do
you
the
can
name?
send me one if you have a really good one. Otherwise, I'm gonna go through your Instagram and see what you have to
Okay.
see what I do. So if you have a
All right,
really
no,
nice,
you do it then. You do it. You find the
yeah,
one you like the best.
yeah, I'll take care of all of that stuff. You don't have to do
All
anything.
right.
And then you'll also on Friday when it goes live, you'll also get a couple like 60-second clips.
Oh, bet. Okay, cool.
So I'll send those over to you as well,
Oh,
with
that's what's up.
the
Let me
promo and all that stuff. So yeah, you'll get everything. You don't gotta worry about nothing.
let me.
It'll be on all major platforms. So Odyssey, iHeart, Apple, Spotify, Audible, Pandora.
What?
I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. Google me, bitch.
Big time, baby. Let's go.
I'm everywhere. I was when I dropped this, I was like, if I get on iHeart, Apple, and Spotify, I'm good. I'm on iHeart, Apple, Spotify, and Odyssey. Like everything else is just extra. I'm on
Yo,
Audible, I'm on Pandora. I mean, you could pretty much listen to me anywhere.
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 Well, I'm glad
Any
I
app
know you.
you want. It's
I'm glad.
crazy, right?
I'm glad we met. Let's go, baby. Let's
Yeah,
do
it's
this.
crazy. I'm like, this is wild. This is wild. But it brings me joy and it makes me happy.
Yeah, yeah, and that's
So
the most important thing.
yeah, yeah. It's I got to create something that like you do with your music. I got to create something that's mine for me, and I
Yeah,
call all the shots. So it's
yeah.
great, So Jay called me yesterday, and he was like, "Karen, can you do an interview this weekend?" And I was like, "All right, for you, okay. I'll open up the calendar." And that's just it. I can
Yeah.
say yes and say no, and I actually have a busy week. I'm doing like 4 recordings this week.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm doubling up on Tuesday and Thursday because Jay's got to get braces on Wednesday. So it's actually pretty busy. Like I'm booked out now till March.
Well, I'm glad you squeezed me in because
Yeah,
I had a good
yeah.
time. This is good.
Well,
This
thank you.
I needed this. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
well, we all need this.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
so much for spending time and space and energy with me. I'm
Absolutely.
gonna be in Atlanta, so I'm gonna look for you because I'll be coming down there. Because
When
y'all
you
got
coming?
I was probably in April.
Let me know. You hit me
Yeah,
up.
last year
I'll
I
be
was
here.
there for April. I took the kids for spring break. Well, just my son and my best friend and her daughter. We went for a spring break just to like chill. We took the kids to the aquarium and Coca-Cola
Yeah.
and all that. But I get a lot of love from Atlanta. I actually
Mhm.
want more traction down there because I did shout out Atlanta blog, like magazine and blog. And I
Oh,
did
okay.
Voyage ATL. And I'm like, yo, they show me so much love down there that I would love to like come down there and like do a live show or live recording or
Yeah.
something
That'd be
or even some radio or acting because there's so much stuff popping off down there right now.
yeah, it is. Atlanta is like I always tell people, man, it's like the Black Hollywood.
Yeah, it's Black
So
Hollywood.
much
So
going on. So much going
yeah,
on here. It's like
yeah,
really
and it's accessible. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been
That's the
definitely
difference between us and LA. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like Atlanta is more, and a lot of actors and stuff are moving from LA coming here.
Well, it's
There's so
better.
much stuff going on. Like tax is a tax write-off.
Yeah, and you can get your
No
house, the
taxes.
same mansion for half the money, and the
Exactly.
taxes is less. And
Mhm.
there's a lot of things. Because even my mom was saying like, why don't you buy a house down there? And I was like, but I'm not ready to go. She was like, but at least it'll be there when you're
True.
ready to retire.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I
Mhm.
don't want to teach till I retire. I just want to buy the house while I'm still a teacher.
Right.
And then after that,
Yeah.
after we put this kid through college, after that it's fair game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Definitely.
but definitely keep in touch with me. I'll tag you in
Yeah.
everything. Um,
Okay.
I wish you so much luck.
Thank you.
And if
Thank
there's anything that I could do to help or support or be a voice,
you.
please reach out.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely. So we're gonna be in touch, and then let me know if, when you come to Atlanta.
For sure. For
All
sure.
right. We're gonna be in touch though. We're gonna be talking before that.
Okay, cool. Be well.
All right, Karen. All right, you too.
Thank you.
All right.